All righty. Apparently we are live. I love that every time we start one of these, I just like am shocked when it goes live, and I'm always like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this. Hi everyone who's watching this, and if you are watching this, as a reminder, please make sure you say hi, make sure you comment. We are so excited to be here, and we're so excited that you are excited to be here. So um, let us know what you think. So my name is Billy. I am the Vice President of Nutrition and Communication for Green Juju. And I work for a wonderful, wonderful company and a wonderful, wonderful person who's sitting across the country from me, but on camera as well. This is Kelly Marion. She is the owner, founder, and visionary of Green Juju Foods. And I will tell you this.
Juju food,
Um,
that's a new one.
yeah, I don't know why I said that. Green Juju Kitchen. Green Juju Foods. That's our next side company. See, I was trying to be sappy, and then that's what happens is I say something like Green Juju Foods.
Mm.
Um, so that's good. Hi to Peter out here on the East Coast as well. But so here at Green Juju, one of the things we love to do is when we come out with a new product, we love to show it to you guys. And it's because we are an indie pet food company. It is really, me and Kelly who are coming up with these products and uh, taking them to market. We don't have a board or investors and things like that, which is one of the things I love about working for Green Juju. So, Kelly, I think there's some things you wanted to mention before we actually debut the product.
Yeah, so we posted 3 times actually about this live, and every time we got comments from people guessing what this would be. And I just wanted to say that you are all right. And this just goes to show how many things we have going on right now. So the list of things includes we are launching a raw frozen in the spring. That's not what today's announcement is, but it is happening. We did change the BAMS Beets and Lewis Golden Paste to different packaging. That has already happened and is already shipping to some distributors. The goat food, lamb food, goat purple actually did already ship and is on the way to distributors. Um, so I think those were all the things that came up, but they are actually all happening. And then we have another surprise on top of it.
Yes, and we are always it always amazes me to have someone in a company that's like as driven as me that wants to put out new things, and even more driven, I think, because sometimes we'll be like, all right, we're cool, and then you're like, but what about this interesting thing? And then we start something new again.
That's
So
why we
I
brought Antoine on, because we needed somebody to be like, hold on, you guys.
that is a yes, that is exactly right. So yeah, so all of those things are happening, which I'm very excited about, and especially my little notes on that. Having been up at our plant and that we work with in Pennsylvania, and having seen the new cups, I think you guys are going to love those for the pastes. Um, and they're actually recyclable cups, which is really really great too as well. Um, and so a lot of cool
We're
things
going to
coming.
post that next weekend or this
This
weekend.
week, yes. Yeah, so you will see those. But we're here to talk about something today. So, Kelly, you have that thing. I do not. So, if you want to show them exactly what we're debuting today.
So if you went to Super Zoo and you came to our booth, you already saw this and you already know about it. Funny story is Super Zoo is like a crazy thing that we put a ton of energy and time into getting ready for. And 2 weeks before the show, I told Billy we were launching this product at the show. And he was just like, are you kidding me? And I was like, yes. And clearly it took us a while to actually get it to market, but this has also shipped, so it's hitting distributors soon. And this is our beautiful new venison bone broth.
Which is just in time for the cooler weather, which is a wonderful, wonderful warming protein. Um, and so now we actually have one of each of the different particular energy kind of. We have the cooling in the duck, the neutral in the bison, and then the warming in the venison. So one of the really, I think the main really cool thing, if you want to hold that up again and hold it like a little bit closer here, is you can see there it says wild harvested venison. So this actually comes from axis deer in Hawaii, and it's a commercially managed wild deer population, which is truly the best sourcing that you can get. So, you know, I was really excited when we started doing our goat food because some of that is wild harvested as well. And so there's a couple particular advantages to that. So number one, there is no better ethical life for an animal to lead than to be in the wild. And the time that they get on this earth is time that's spent naturally engaging in behaviors and being part of a herd, um, and really living the best sort of ethical life that they can, which is what we're always striving for here at Green Juju. But also, just the nutrition that goes into the food products as well is just better. And the reason why is because, so if you get, say, a grass-fed cow, you're going to get some variation in terms of what they're eating. So they're going to be eating, obviously, a lot of grass, but you might find some other herbs and things like that that naturally grow in and around that. If you have goats, for instance, with goat milk or something like that, they are eating feed as well as forage. But this is 100% forage diet. So this is 100% grazing on different altitude levels and different plants. And so you're getting better biodiversity of plants into their diet. And also, Hawaii happens to be a very volcanic soil that's very rich in minerals. So you're going to get a broader diversity of minerals. You're going to get more mineral content just in general in whatever part you're using. And then the part we're using in this is obviously bones. And so you're just going to get a higher mineral content. You're going to get sort of just a better nutrient profile altogether. So I really think it was like, again, one of these situations where, similarly to the goat and the lamb food, where we found where the sourcing was the reason why we did it, rather than saying, "Hey, we want to do a venison bone broth, so let's make it happen regardless of where it comes from." We came at this like the sourcing, wanted to work with us, and so that was the reason to do it, in my mind.
There's a lot of cool things about this sourcing, but they sell products for people in our local organic grocery store. They sell a venison steak to like the fanciest restaurant in Seattle. So it's a very high quality product, and I feel super fortunate that we're able to use their bones to make a cool product for our pets.
Exactly. And the fact is, like, anytime you can be part of like a managing a natural population that would have overgrowth if you didn't manage it, um, is just better for the environment and better for the animal itself. And so, yeah, no, we are very proud of this, and I think this will fit well in the freezer next to our other broths. And it really continues down the line as well of Green Juju itself and just catering to sensitive animals and releasing novel protein sources. If you look at our food line, we don't have any chicken, and we have a very wide variety of things that you might not find somewhere else. And I think this fits the bill in the same way.
So one of the things I like about this broth that I think you could expand on is, I always have my favorite bit you talk about with the kidney and bone broth, but I think that fits even more so with this being a warming protein, because a lot of older dogs do really well with warming proteins as their bodies age. So I feel like this would especially be good for older dogs, which obviously is on my mind, but maybe you could talk about that a bit.
Yeah, and I will say, because I just saw this comment come through, and I don't think we actually let people know, but this is a frozen product. It's not shelf stable. So it is frozen like our other broths. I think some people might have put that together, but yes, this is a frozen product. Yeah, no, I think for me, for the broth, there's a couple things. I think number one, animals that are older just need more moisture in their diet, and they need more nutrients that are in moisture in their diet because they're easier to absorb. The example I always give is, if you were to take a supplement and you take liquid versus a pill, the liquid is much easier for your body to absorb. And so the same thing is true of bone broth, and the same thing is true of, say, milk or something like that. But the cool thing about bone broth is the ease in which that senior animals digest it is a huge impactor in health in general. A good example of that would be phosphorus, right? Is suspended in moisture. And no, I'm not going to say it. Is suspended. Is suspended.
Have a good time. Go ahead and say it.
Is suspended in moisture, which makes it much more easy for the body to accept, in which is just a different situation than, say, a cat that eats a dry food diet and is getting that high amount of protein and phosphorus in its dry form. So I love this for older animals, and I also love it for rehydrating our freeze-dried food, because it is actual. So when you freeze dry food, you take out the sort of innate moisture of it, and this is actually adding back in nutrients that are specifically pulled from the bones of animals. And so it's a very appropriate way to rehydrate food. I do it with huckleberry all the time. And so for me, with senior animals, the more moisture, the better, and especially the more nutrient rich moisture, the better, as opposed to just water or something like that. And so, I do a lot of bone broth with huckleberry right now, but I would recommend, as your dog gets older, to do more and more. Just, like if I was doing our freeze-dried food, I would rehydrate the food with the broth and do a serving on top of that as well.
Isn't it interesting? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because you can't really do too much.
Isn't it interesting how the freeze-dried food absorbs broth better than it does water? Have you noticed?
Yes, that is true. And that's one cool thing about our freeze-dried food in general. I know we're talking about the broth, is it does absorb and stays in its form, which is really cool. So if I were watching this, I would buy our venison broth and I would rehydrate our food with it and then let it sit overnight, and it'll completely soak in. That's a good way to do it.
Couple of questions here that I want to address. Judy said that we need more stores to carry our frozen products, even in special orders. Two thoughts on that. Number one, customer requests really are the best way to get products into the stores. So that. Also, when we bring out our frozen food in the spring, I think that's going to help a lot, because it will kind of give us more offerings in the freezer and make it just when you have more, retailers notice you more. So hopefully that will help get us a little bit more traction in freezers as well. If they have room for the food, maybe it's easier to bring in the broths. That's what we're hoping. But yeah, customer requests really are the number one driving thing. We also have a store locator on our website, and you can search by product. So, and we update it monthly. So if your store doesn't have the bone broth and they're not willing to order it or whatever, you can see who else around you might have it.
Well, and I would like to say on that note as well, because sometimes people say, like, you should be in more stores. We don't have any control over that.
We would love to.
It's like every
you
store,
guys actually have more control.
Yeah, every store should carry us. I agree 100%. But yeah.
Barb asked about listing the collagen content. We actually did some pretty extensive testing on the bison bone broth a long time ago in terms of like the collagen and chondroitin and all that stuff. I'd be happy to share that with you if you want to email me. It was extremely expensive. And I don't know if it's something we can put on packaging, is it?
Yes, we could, but here's the thing here's what I generally think of things like this. We did it on the bison, and this is made in basically the same way. And so you'll get basically the same content, because that's also a grass-fed animal. So it might be slightly higher with the venison as well. But you have to kind of go between what do you test for as a small company and what don't you. And I think that the nice thing is with our broths too, you can see the little bit more thickness to it, and so that actually is seeing the collagen as opposed to testing for it.
Yes.
So I see a question here. Catherine says, can we get your products in Ontario, Canada? Very soon, actually.
I didn't answer that because I don't know geography, but I'm glad you did.
So I apologize to all you Canadians out there for Kelly not knowing where Ontario is.
I know it's not on the west side.
That is true. So we in 2024, early 2024, we're actually going to be in Ontario and the Maritime provinces in Canada. So we're very excited. We've been in Western Canada from Manitoba west for a while, and we're very, very excited to do that. So
Um, Martina said if your broth gels in the fridge, you have a pretty good amount of collagen in it. That's kind of the myth of bone broth. It's obviously an indicator of collagen. You can still have a great bone broth that doesn't gel, and that doesn't mean it doesn't have collagen. So that's kind of a tricky one. A good gel broth is amazing. Broth that doesn't gel is still good, as long as it's not all water. But yeah. Peter, we will have bulk boxes for the raw in the spring. They'll be 18-pound boxes. Our patties are going to be in squares. So I'm excited about that.
funny story about Peter, really quick. One time, he was going to visit. He lives near me, and one time I've never met him, but one time he asked me if I had any food because he didn't have any food and he was going to visit someone, and I was leaving, and so I left it on my porch, and he picked it up. So so Peter, happy to help you.
In passing. That's great. Cool.
All right, well, let's hold up the broth one more time.
I feel like Vanna White.
So we're so excited for this to be available for your guys' pets. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for trusting us with your pet's health. It really, really does mean the world to us, to the whole team here at Green Juju. We love what we do, and we're going to continue to do that for you. So all right. Well, as she mentioned, it did ship or is shipping this week. I can't remember.
The bone broth is shipping this week. The paste in the new containers that Jessica just asked about shipped last week. The goat freeze-dried, lamb freeze-dried, goat purple all shipped last week. So with the holiday, be a little iffy on when it arrives places, but I'd say at least by the end of next week, and then it'll start getting out to stores. Krista, Absolutely. Are you messaging from 2 accounts right now? I'm pretty
That is actually a good point. All right. Well, thank you guys. Everybody have a really, really great Thanksgiving, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.